When you start a business, one of the first things you need to do is decide on its legal status. Are you going to be a sole trader, a partnership, or a limited company? The key to making your decision is about personal financial liability. There are also other implications, but let's focus on this first. As a sole trader or partnership, you are personally liable for all the debts of the business. This means that if the business fails, you may risk personal bankruptcy if the business debt is considerable and you're unable to pay it. Setting up a limited company offers protection against this. You may decide to become a limited company from the outset, or you may choose to change the legal status of your business as it grows and becomes more established. A limited company is a separate legal entity. As such, it's responsible in its own right for everything it does. The company's finances are separate from the personal finances of the owners. This guarantees more protection for the owners and other shareholders, who are not liable for the company's debts. I mentioned that there are other implications as well. Some are positive and some less so. As well as the financial security, there are tax and national insurance advantages. For example, up to a certain value, a company's profits are tax-free. Also, company profits can be distributed as dividends to shareholders, and currently, national insurance is not applicable to dividend payments. Again, this effectively reduces your tax liability further. There are also potential tax advantages for those wishing to keep the money in the business or within a pension scheme. Full details on the HM Revenue and Customs website. And remember, this is just an example. Speak to your accountant or financial advisor to find out about your personal circumstances. Being a limited company often creates a sense of confidence amongst both suppliers and customers. This increases the credibility of the business, and there are some larger organizations that prefer not to deal with businesses that are not limited. The costs associated with a limited company aren't significantly greater than non-limited businesses. But remember, there is a cost associated with forming a limited company. These are not huge, but something you have to consider. It's also one way to protect a business name. No two limited companies can have the same name, so there's no chance of confusion between different businesses. It can be easier to secure funding, particularly through banks or shareholders, and if the business is sold, it's easier to transfer to a new owner through the process of selling shares. But there are also some disadvantages. There are more complex and restrictive rules regarding the accounts and bookkeeping for a limited company. A limited company must be registered with Companies House, and the company must produce annual accounts, including a balance sheet and other financial statements. These have to be filed at Companies House and HM Revenue and Customs every year. They'll be on public record, so others, including competitors, can see a summary of your accounts. There are very strict filing times with the potential of financial and other penalties if you don't file on time. Your accountant can help with all of this, but they will charge you. There are legal obligations for directors of limited companies as set out in the Companies Act. We cover this in detail later in this module. And the profits are the property of the company, not the shareholders or owners. This means that as the owner, you can't take money out of the business when you feel like it. There are restrictions and tax consequences. As a shareholder, the company can pay you a dividend as long as it has enough profit, but the profit must be shared between all the shareholders, which may dilute the amount you receive. Generally, the benefits of being a limited company are greater than the drawbacks. However, make sure you consider your situation fully before deciding whether it's the best decision for you. And always get professional advice on all financial and legal aspects of your business.